Okay, hello friends. Hope you all guys are doing well. And our today's topic of discussion is India's foreign policy. And in today's time, increasing globalization and interdependence of nations all around the globe has enhanced the need for a healthy diplomatic relations amongst all the nations around the globe. So today, a sound good and strategic foreign policy is very crucial for having a voice in international affairs and trade and commerce, and also for the domestic development of for the domestic growth of a country's economy. So all these three things are actually the effect of a good and sound foreign policy. Okay, so now I'm going to share with you about uh, about Indian foreign policy, and I will share with you different perspective about the Indian foreign policy. Hope you all guys all understand it well. Okay, so if we talk about the Indian foreign policy, then after the independence we know that India was actually not India's foreign policy was actually revolving around only improving relations with different nations all around the world. And at that time, India was not indulged in the bloc politics which were happening at that time. So India also decided to align in the non-aligned movement, which was initiated by the Jawaharlal Nehru at the time. So India chose to participate in the non-aligned movement and didn't align itself to any foreign bloc policies like we know that at the time there were two bloc, mainly the Russia and the US. So India didn't join any of them, and after that we know that there were a lot of um, conflicts of China and Japan, China and Pakistan with India. Okay, so after all these conflicts, India's military preparedness has actually started increasing after that. And the third one is that we know that in around the 1990s there were types of some industrial revolution in India, and the reforms at the time were called as LPG reforms: liquidization, privatization, and globalization. So in these reforms, the government actually opened the economy, and different types of countries and companies would now able to participate in India's domestic market, and they will definitely enhance they will bring many FDI inflow in India. So that would be beneficial for India, and a lot of employment opportunities for the people of India will be created. So that would be helpful for the nation. Okay, so after that, now I'm going to discuss with you two important pillars of India's foreign policy, which are the neighborhood first policy is number one, and the second is uh, uh, sorry, I'm forgetting about the name. The first is the neighborhood first policy, and the second is the act east policy. Okay, so if we talk about the neighborhood first policy, in that policy actually India is started to improving its relations with the all neighboring countries which are present all around the India. So there are actually two pillars of the neighborhood first policy. The first is uh, connect the we can say connectivity, and the second is the resources and the support in terms of resources. So if we talk about the first one, that is the connectivity, then we know that India is cooperating with the different neighboring countries in terms of economic trade and cooperation, and we are sharing different types of things, like we are increasing our trade, and we are also transferring the technology to other neighboring countries. Okay, and the second is the support in terms of resources. So we know that India is actually supporting different nations all around the Indian Ocean by different means, not only economically but also in terms of resources, human resources, and also we are providing training to these nations, and so that's all the things. And if we talk about Nepal particularly, then we know that after the earthquake in 2015, India supported Nepal in a lot of things, like we send tons of food to them, and also we send different types of aids like money, and whatever things were required by the Nepal at the time, we provided these all to Nepal at the time. And now also if we talk about in COVID time, we know that India is providing a lot of support to the Indian Ocean countries like Mauritius and Maldives. And after that, if we talk about recent times, then we are providing a lot of lines of credit loans to the Sri Lanka. And we know that Sri Lanka's economy is destroying due to the Russia-Ukraine crisis. So we are also providing a lot of support to the island nation of Sri Lanka also. And these all are some of the things about the neighborhood first policy. And now if I talk about the Act East policy, this policy was first implemented by the Narasimha Rao government in 1991, and this policy was first called as the Look East policy at the time. But after that, we know that there were some different types of changes in the economy of the country and also the political scenario. So that after this, the BJP government of India particularly, they decided to change the name of the policy and named it as Act East policy rather than Look East policy. So now rather than looking at the East, we started acting with the East. Okay, so now if we talk about what are the cooperation in this, so we know that there are different ASEAN countries and also the SAARC countries and the BIMSTEC countries also. So we are providing support to these countries in terms of, we know that there are summits every year happening between BIMSTEC nations and also the ASEAN countries. So India is providing support to these nations by these summits. And if I talk about the three pillars of this policy, Act East policy, and there are three things like the connectivity, or we can say construction. Second is the culture, and third is the trade, or we can say commerce. Okay, so let's talk about the first one, that is construction or connectivity. Actually, we are providing resources to these countries for the development of the resources and infrastructure. Like we are developing railways and different types of ports in these countries to able so that they would be able to easily transport the things from one nation to other nations. And definitely both of these, India and all these nations, will be benefited by these types of doing. Okay, and the second is the culture. India is supporting these nations by finding the particular, or we can say famous cultural heritage sites, and we are supporting these by increasing the traveling and also the tour and all these types of things in these places. Okay, and we are also finding the rich cultural heritage sites which are present all these nations, and for tour and travels, for traveling. And okay, so the third one is trade. We know that we have different types of trade pacts in all these nations, and we are actually creating trade relations and trade networks, so that for the easily transport of all the goods from both of these nations. So this is all about India's foreign policy. Hope you all guys understand it well, and if you like the video, don't forget to press the bell icon and subscribe the channel. Okay, thank you. Have a good day. Thank you.